I'm Nick Rockwell, Editor-in-Chief of BC Business. On behalf of the BC Business team, congratulations to all the winners and finalists in our first annual Women of the Year Awards. It was a privilege to recognize these remarkable women and to share their stories with our readers. Thank you, everyone. I'd also like to thank the judges for their time and effort and our generous sponsor, the Women's Enterprise Center. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for our second annual Women of the Year Awards. We'll be announcing the winners and runners-up in our April 2021 issue.
I'm Pauline Stevenson, and I've been operating Excel Career College for 31 years. And in that time frame, it's shifted and morphed in so many ways. It's interesting to look back on the different incarnations over that time period. At about the 10-year mark, the province of BC offered the first opportunity to become an accredited college. So we moved on that right away and became an accredited college in 1999. I remember that because I brought my young toddler to the celebration party that we had. So I'll never forget the year that we became accredited. And that allowed us to offer full-time diploma programs. And it became the real solid foundation that we've grown on ever since. Excel also really gets more of an intimate type of training program going with First Nations and project and contract work, where when the need has been established, we come up with a solution, often collaboratively, either with industry and the First Nation or whomever is a stakeholder in that project. And then if it's a First Nations community, we'll move right into that First Nations community and set up the service there. So that's been one of the unique things that we've been doing over the last 10 years or so. And it's proven to be really powerful for the participants, but also for us. We really feel like we're part of a community. Being a leader has so many dimensions. And again, when I look back and reflect on my life in positions where I would be considered a leader, there are so many different aspects, but the one that's most important to me and just invokes a passion is this ability to see a person and almost like a hologram of where they may be down the road, and working to make that hologram more of a real life experience, setting up the challenges that might move them towards realizing their potential. I absolutely love that. I love being involved in those relationships and working with my team in that way. Of course, it's always important to set the radar on what it is that you're working towards. And in challenging times, making sure that that radar is where you want to be, not where you are at that time. And conveying that in a way that your team can get on board and work together with you to achieve that. There were times where the government funding model changed so dramatically that it impacted cash flow by thousands of percentage of what we had to finance internally, as opposed to the cash flow being in. That was extremely challenging. Really reorganizing our business model on the fly. There was a cancer journey that created a real, I believed it was going to be harder than it was to walk away and ask my team to step up and shift that leadership role to others. And it's been one of the greatest things that I've experienced. Wow, I could get emotional here. To see the skill and the willingness of my team to operate in my absence to the best of their ability as though I were there, was magical, not only for me, but for my team as well. Absolutely magical. And had it not been for a need, it would have been really, really difficult to figure out how to do that. Very much like a global pandemic puts us in a position where we need to make changes and we need to make them fast. As a mentor that had an impact on my life at a very young age, I didn't even realize he was a mentor till much later. I don't even think I'd heard that phrase, but it was my first boss in the real world at an accounting firm who hired me because I offered my services for free. And he saw a hologram of me and where I could be and what my potential was, far beyond what I had envisioned for myself. And he fanned the flame on my potential like no one ever has, and has inspired me to be a like-minded person for the ones coming after me. COVID impacted the college in such a big way instantly. The shutdown started right during spring break, and following spring break, we were starting 2 brand new classes, both out of our local area. One was in Cranbrook, one was in Williams Lake, and we were starting with new instructors. When the shutdown happened, the only choice we had was to deliver that curriculum in an online format with live instruction. We're governed by the College of Nurses. And so that was approved almost overnight. We talked to our instructor, our brand new instructor that I've never to this day met in person because of COVID. And she was absolutely on board. My local nurse was absolutely on board to support the curriculum being moved to an online format. And the students who signed up for live, one-on-one, hands-on instruction got on board instantly. Those classes have been so successful. Our instructor is she's a cherished member of our team that we haven't actually met face to face. So we got a sense of what is possible really early on. If I could change one thing about the world, you know, If we could give everybody a little more tolerance and a little broader view, I think we'd see a lot less anger and hatred and judgment. You know, people might think the obvious answer right now is get rid of the pandemic, but we will go through this process, and I think that we, like any challenge, will see the benefits. I just don't see the benefits from hatred, anger, intolerance. Encouraging women into the business world is really important. If we look at a Harvard study, they found that businesses that had women in leadership were more financially profitable. These are broad brush strokes, but that was the end result of the study. So we know we want more women in business from just purely an economic perspective. We know that only 15% of Fortune 500 companies have women in leadership roles right now. So where we want to be and where we are, there's still quite a large gap. So then it's so important, I believe, to look at what prevents women from getting into business. What are the barriers that must be overcome for women to see self-employment and entrepreneurial roles as good options for them. I've been part of the Women's Enterprise Center in different roles over the last 25 years. And more recently, am the regional ambassador for the Women's Enterprise Center. The resources that are offered by agencies like the Women's Enterprise Center, where it's from a woman's lens, they look at what the barriers are. Access to financing is still problematic for women. And in many cases, because they don't meet the financial matrix. Perhaps there was a time period where that woman was raising children and didn't have employment history. So the Women's Enterprise Center, in their financial resource, in their lending resources, look towards the business plan and the viability of the business as the first and foremost piece of analyzing whether to fund that business or not. That's a resource that is impacting women who want to get into business and allowing them a way to achieve those goals. I have 3 stepdaughters who are all very successful in business. And I look at their attitudes. They're showing up, this younger group, with a mindset of being worthy to be being successful in business. They show up feeling that it's their right to be successful and to be seen based on the efforts that they put in. And I can tell you that 15, 20, 30 years ago, that wasn't necessarily the case. We wanted to succeed in spite of the fact that we weren't really programmed for it, in spite of the fact that we may not have been worthy of that success. So we've seen some shifts, and I certainly see it as a blinding light of hope. Just to see that mindset of these human beings showing up, not saying me over them, or me in spite of, just saying me because of what I'm doing. And I love it. Women who are starting out in business, and I get the opportunity to talk to them in my role as the ambassador for the Women's Enterprise Center. I tell them that life is going to happen through their business, and that tenacity and a really strong streak of stubbornness are really great qualities to have to find a network, whether it be just a small group of like-minded people or a more formal network where you can be truly honest. Being able to talk about your fears, your hopes, your vision in a real honest way is really a great factor for women in business, and allows for that woman to feel really authentic and validated. Certainly continue learning. Never, ever, ever stop learning. Find your passion, whatever that may be, and fan the flame of that passion every chance you get. Entrepreneurship allows flexibility, but it is also confining. So think 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, where do you want to see yourself? And look at whether being an entrepreneur is going to help foster that personal goal, or whether it's going to be a chain around your neck, holding you back from achieving that. So to really look at the ultimate work-life balance and look at the pros and cons of it, and reach out and ask for help. The thing I'm more excited about than anything are the new areas that we're developing at the college. The embracing of what we've always done and combining it with technology to create a new product that I think is going to be magnificent is really, really exciting. We've taken an approach where we're giving learners who really would have preferred to come here live. That would have been their first choice, and that would have been my first choice, to host them live and show them our beautiful area that we live in while we're teaching them. Well, we're creating this virtual tour and opportunity to host students from abroad while we're teaching them. And it's just become this vision that has exceeded its own vision. Like it's better than we anticipated. So where we go with that is a wide open field. We don't know exactly how far we can go with this or what it's going to lead to next, which is exactly what being an entrepreneur is all about. So it's fresh and it's new, and it's working with some passionate people, and I absolutely love it. We also have the opportunity to expand the college in a great big way. And that's going to be a really, really amazing venture. We've been invited to be the college within a 780-acre community development, a brand new community, and to be part of a 25-acre college campus. So our little Excel Career College is going to be a world-class destination. So that's really exciting. I would say the pinnacle of my career.
Hi, I'm Jill Earthy, CEO of Women's Enterprise Center. I am delighted to congratulate Pauline Stevenson, founder and president of Excel Career College, as the winner of the BC Business Women of the Year Award in the Leader category. At Women's Enterprise Centre, we support women entrepreneurs all over BC with integrated services and capital as they start, lead, and grow their own businesses. We know that women entrepreneurs are leaders in their communities, and Pauline is a shining example of one who gives back. For the past year, Pauline has shared her leadership with Women's Enterprise Centre as a regional ambassador in the Courtenay region. And as a mentor, she has helped other women to develop their voice and inspire others. We know that her leadership has made a real difference in the lives of her team, her community, and her mentees. We are honored to work with Pauline, and we're so proud of her. Thank you to BC Business Magazine and all the sponsors of the Women of the Year Awards for recognizing Pauline Stevenson with this incredible award.